Most people are taught to focus on income. Get a good job, work hard, build experience, earn more over time. And that advice is not wrong. Income matters. It creates stability, covers expenses, and gives people the ability to move forward. But if you look at how wealth actually grows inside most economies, income is only part of the picture. Because modern economic systems do not reward effort and ownership in the same way, and over the long run, ownership usually has the stronger position. Why? Because ownership gives you a connection to what the system produces. If you work for a company, you earn a salary. You are paid for your time, your skill, and your contribution. That income can be valuable, but it is usually tied to continued effort. If you stop working, the income often slows down or stops. Ownership works differently. If you own shares in a company, real estate, a business, or other productive assets, you are not only being paid for effort, you are connected to the value that asset creates over time, and that changes everything. A business can grow, a property can increase in value, an asset can generate cash flow, a stock can rise as the company becomes more valuable, and in many cases, those gains can continue without the owner having to repeat the same effort every single day. That is one reason economic systems reward ownership so strongly. Ownership scales more easily than labor. Labor has limits. There are only so many hours in a day. Even very skilled people eventually run into time, energy, and attention limits. But ownership can expand beyond those limits. One person can own multiple assets. One investor can hold many shares. One business owner can build systems that serve thousands or even millions of people. That means that upside is not only tied to personal effort, it is tied to the performance of the asset or system itself. And then compounding enters the picture. Once ownership starts producing returns, those returns can be reinvested. That allows the base to grow. And when the base grows, future returns have more to build on. So ownership does not just create income. It creates the conditions for more ownership, more access, and more future growth. That is part of why wealth tends to gather around owners over time. Economic systems also tend to reward risk, capital allocation, and patience. Owners are often in a position to make long-term decisions. They can hold through slow periods. They can reinvest profits. They can benefit from growth that takes years to fully appear. Workers can also invest and build ownership, of course. But the key difference is that the system often gives its biggest rewards to those who hold productive assets, not only to those who participate in them. That is why two people can both be intelligent, disciplined, and hardworking, yet still see very different financial outcomes over time. One is earning from effort. The other is earning from ownership. And in most modern economies, ownership has a structural advantage because it allows value to keep building, scaling, and compounding. So when we ask why economic systems reward ownership, the answer is not that work has no value. It absolutely does. The deeper point is that ownership is connected to growth in a different way. It benefits from scale, it benefits from time, and it benefits from the system's ability to keep generating value. Once you understand that, you start to see why ownership plays such a powerful role in wealth creation. And that naturally leads to the next question. If ownership is rewarded so strongly, then why does wealth become more unequal as these systems continue to grow? That is exactly what we will explore next.